On the podcast today is a UEFA Pro licensed manager. He's managed in a variety of countries: Spain, Albania, China. Pablo, welcome to the podcast.
Okay, so first, thank you very much for letting me your space to stay here together and to try to explain a little my experience in football and more especially in China. That sure for the people is going to be amazing to listen this.
Absolutely, and as I said to you before, I'm going to try and take it a bit slower with the way that I talk, because I know my accent can be quite strong. Okay, so do you want to start us off then with your early days coaching? Because I know that you were a player in the past, but when you decided to go into coaching, why did you decide that was the right thing for you?
Okay, first because I was professional football player in Spain. I was playing in Real Madrid in under category. I was playing in Real Valladolid as well, and I was professional with 19-year-old. I suffered a big injury. And after this, I start to think about coaching. First, like a fitness coach, was my first degree. And after this, I was a professional football player. I like to be not only in the fitness environment, even to try to organize and to be more with the player. And then I started to study in the Federation of Spain, the 3 level. And more or less, I think around 23, 24, I started this, I don't know how to say, but this from inside, okay, this feeling to start first in Spain, because I know I needed to be very strong in my coaching philosophy here in Spain. For after, with this experience, try to go to other country. Like we are Spanish, we use methodology Spanish, try to transfer this.
What's it like to be a Real Madrid player when you were back in the day?
It was a long time ago because I am old, but for example, was Roberto Carlos, Zidane, Beckham, Ronaldo, all this kind of player was the team of the stars, no? Was the team of the stars, and it was very good because before in Real Madrid, so all the under category, the changing room was in the same area that the first team. So every day when you are changing your clothes and everything, come maybe Roberto Carlos or Ronaldo and give you something or only say how are you. And this is good for us because, like, when you see the star in the TV, it's like, this is impossible to get this level. But when you are every day watching them in the training and they are supporting, it's like, okay, it's easy. I got to try. I got to give my 100% for try to get to this level.
So could you talk to me about your first experience on the other side of the pitch when you were coaching, fitness coach, when you were the manager?
So for me, I started in Spain in Leganés. Leganés, the last year was in first division. This year is in second division here in Spain. And I started 3 years like a fitness coach. But after this, for me, it was not very good because, it's only in the area of the fitness coach. I wanted to organize. I wanted to grow my methodology. And then after this, I was combining like assistant coach, fitness coach. And finally, after these 3 years, I went to Getafe. So Getafe is a team this year, go to the Conference League. It's in first division in Spain. And I started like a head coach. And I was 3 years, very good in the category of under 13, under 14, and under 15. And I did very good job. And I wanted to grow up. But as you know, in this kind of teams, when there is high level, in the middle, no need only be a good coach. Need a little more. Know people, give this trust for others, etc., etc. And then I was 30-year-old, and was the moment I started to think about why I don't go abroad to teach. Like this, I raised my experience, and I continue with my development.
I want to speak about Getafe there because you mentioned that they've had a really good season and they've got a very interesting manager in Bordalas. What do you make of someone like Bordalas who has really just identified the game almost like Pep Guardiola and made the team the way that he wants to play?
Yeah, the way is, and this is very important, is when you go to a team, is to see what kind of player you have. Because it's not the same, for example, like Guardiola, stay in the city, he has free to pay or to take all the best player in the world, and to stay in Getafe. In Getafe, it's a team more or less is in the middle table. In Spain, no a lot of budget, and then you need to have first one coach. He know a lot tactically to try to fight against a team. They are better, or for quality, or for the money. Okay, and I think Bordalas for this is top. And in Spain, we are good coaches because tactically we manage very well all kind of environment. So now you can see, for example, in England, in the first 5 or 6 teams in the league, in the table league. So there are, I think, 3, no? It's Emery, no, 4. It's Emery, Pep Guardiola, Arteta, that he won, and now he's other in the Bournemouth as well, and step by step more, because finally football is tactically as well. And for my experience around the world, there are very good players, but in tactical aspect, so they need to improve a lot. And then for this, the Spanish methodology or the Spanish teaching is about how the player control the football, how he control the situation. And for this right now, for example, in Getafe, is top. This is true. If you want a match like a fan, to watch the match and be happy and enjoy a little, you don't watch Getafe, because the matches are very close, very tactically, 0-0, 1-0. But, for example, in the Premier League, it's top, because it's all the time in the transition, a lot of shooting, a lot of goals. For the fan, this is okay. But for the coaches, and more when you are a professional, you want something more.
But there must be so for you as a manager, you're a young guy, 41 years old. Who do you take advice from? Who is the few managers that you go, I want to be exactly like that?
Yeah, but for example, when I was in Real Madrid, like a football player, my coach was Vicente del Bosque. So I was 2 years with him. After this, in Real Valladolid, was Onésimo Sánchez. He was a very top player in Spain. And after in the federation, I was with the best teacher, like Quique Flores and others, Eduardo Caturla, and from Spanish, because now it's totally different. But before in Spain, people like love teach young coaches and love teach football, football from very deep. So now it's different, and from these people, I started to find a good football. But this is important. This is the base, because after each one has his own idea about football, methodology, and step by step, this is very important, because you start with one idea, but after 1 or 2 year training, you see this is not effective. And then you need to change. You need to change until you find a good way that your team follow your idea, but at the same time, it's very important the result. Because if you play very good, but you don't win, this is nothing. Football finally is win-win-win, and you need to try to find the balance between the result and the Spanish methodology or your idea.
So when you were at Getafe, what were the players like at the football club? Because they must have been very good technically and physically, but also, what about mentally?
Mentally, this is a good question, because I think from 5-6 years ago, so all the clubs, all professional clubs in Spain, they have one person, the name is a mindset coach, okay, specific for the team. One is for the players, okay, another is for the coaches. For example, now we see Luis Enrique, he has one special for him, okay, another for the team. I imagine in England, Guardiola is the same. This is a place or a position from 5, 6, or 7 years ago, we introduced in Spain. And now, this is true, because finally football is 25 players or more, so you need to know, a part of tactical, physical, technical, how to manage this group, how to manage the ego, how to manage the situation a little difficult, or how to manage the fine in the locker room, for example, now, like Tchouaméni and Valverde in Real Madrid, how to manage everything. What happened before was more individual, but now we have a person inside in the club, okay, he can teach you, and he can evaluate, or he can help you for improve this kind of aspect.
For sure. When you were at these clubs, so let's just try and focus on Getafe and perhaps Atletico Madrid. When you were there, what players that you were with then have now gone on to achieve some really big things?
Yeah, when I was in Atlético Madrid, but this was a long time ago, it was like a starting. Okay, we finished the league winning. And in Getafe, the same. In Spain, and exactly now in Madrid, we have Real Madrid and Atlético de Madrid, that they are the best, and they win everything. So it's very difficult to compete against them, because they can take the best player of Madrid, or they can take the best player of Spain, even now in the world as well, because this is available to do. So for me, for example, in Getafe, I finished third in the league, but I compete against them in any match. So this is important, and the reason was because the next year after my season, 3-4 players signed with Real Madrid. So this is good, and like a coach, For me, this is 1 year every day. Try to teach the player that finally this kind of teams, okay, they check, they see that this player, the evolution is good, they improve, and then they take. And for me, like a coach, this is very good. Okay, this is a personal goal that I get if first I am able to compete against this kind of teams, and after, if for the next season I can help to the player to develop or to send them in other more professional environment.
So, is there names of players that you can give me?
Sorry?
Is there some names of players that you could give me that have gone on to achieve?
In this moment, no, because they stay until Real Madrid under 19. But after this, different injury, etc. Okay, they finish the career because no only is football. Sometimes it's more than this. It's the environment you have, it's the pressure you have. There are players they cannot. But for example, I can tell you one. Is Sergio Ferrato. Okay, he was even in the national team of Spain, but with under 19-year-old, he suffered a very big injury. I think it was in pubis, stayed 1 year out, and after this is very difficult. Come back 100% in the mind and in the body to continue playing football.
When you decided to go to China, how did that move actually come about for you?
Yeah, it was very, very lucky for me because I know some people in Spain, in Madrid, and exactly I finished in June. My coaching in Getafe, I decided to leave and to check other challenge. And very lucky, one friend told me, okay, he's going to come one guy from China that he has a team. He want to check Spanish coaches, and he want 2 coaches exactly. So and then I said, okay, why no? I go to try. So the guy come, we did a test here during 2 days with different teams. The things that this guy from China wanted to see in the pitch, and I think after 1 month, so I received the call for going to China. For me, was new because my English was null. Was my first experience with 30-year-old abroad, and you imagine the culture. We come from Europe, okay? You go to Asia, especially from China, in 2015. That this is nothing to see like now, because China from 1 year to the other year changed a lot. And I decided, because it was the chance, I wanted to work abroad, and I said, okay, why no? With 30-year-old, so nothing to lose. I go, if this is okay. If this is bad, I come back, so no problem for this. And for this, I decided to go with other friend from Spain and go together and start this coaching career in China that now is 6 years.
And I'm really intrigued to learn about when you got off the plane in China. What did you see? Like, what was the first experiences that you had there?
Oof. So first, when you arrive to the country, is the city. The city are like about 20 million. So you imagine they are very big. In 2015, the government of China started to create a lot of pitches, a lot of clubs, give a lot of money to try to rise up football. And from the first to second year, the players are good players, okay. And after this, after 1 year, better for me to stay, to understand more the culture. So for me, it was the first time work with a translator, because when you work with translator, you lose a lot of information. Even my translator, the English was not very good. My English not very good. So you imagine the session started not very dynamic. The mentality before of the player of China is all the time wait for the instruction of the coach. By themselves, it's impossible to move they don't have creativity, no, in this way. First was a little, what is this? No, because the level is good. The player physically good, technically good, tactically no. This was crazy, but the most impact was the structure of the club. No, they want to do, they have the idea, but they don't know how to do this. No, and then there is a problem because if you don't have a good organization, you don't have a plan. Not only in the week, if not in month, in year, where you want to go is very difficult. You only train, but what is the next? This is something you miss in the beginning. In the beginning, after this, after the government, a lot of English coaches, Spanish coaches, Portuguese coaches went to China. This changed totally. But until this was my first impression, and of course, out of the football, so the country is unbelievable for everything.
So in 2016, 2017, you were a fitness coach in China, and I'm really keen to understand if that changes from when you're going from Spain, which is such a hot country, to China, which is a hot country, but it's a lot more humid.
Yes, first in the first I went like a fitness coach, but at the same time like a head coach. Okay, because when I went to China, I had my UEFA Pro and everything, but so I combine a little both. Okay, to try to help and etc etc. So China, in question of football in 2015, for me top, the same like in Spain, the people like football. Okay, the people, all the children, they want to play football, but there is a problem. In China, it's more important the school, okay, the degree, how the children they can grow up and have a job in the future. So the mentality of China in 2015 is like, okay, football is like an activity to be fun, but not like a job in the future. And this was a problem because imagine you stay from 10 to 15-year-old with one player teaching him, the player get good level, but in 15-year-old the player decides you need to cut football, okay, and then you need to start to study, and you cannot continue with football. This was something that in this moment continue like this, and I think is one of the problem why China by the moment they don't improve the necessary, for example, to arrive to the World Cup or get this level, no, a little high level. I think this is the difference, I think, between Spain and China is the most, because at least in Spain you can study and you can play. So I think in the mentality, maybe in England is the same. The mentality is, okay, if you can football and after study. If not, you combine two. But let's football to only study. If you like football, it's almost impossible. This is impossible. It's the culture.
You're right there. In England, we have scholarships, so you can work off the pitch and on the pitches at the same time. In China, that's a really interesting thing that you said there. Obviously, they've never qualified for a World Cup. I'm presuming that day will come. There has to be a day where China eventually gets to a World Cup. But how long in the future are we looking? Because have things improved since then?
First, but because one thing is the football in China, another thing is the national team. Here, the problem is you need to bet for one nationality of the coach. For example, so now in this moment we have Spanish, but we have Portuguese, we have Serbian. So maybe the Serbian is in under 14, the Portuguese is in under 16. When they arrive in under 18, they are Spanish, and finally in the first team, okay, they are Chinese. So for me, the most important is if you believe in something. This is like now, for example, Paris Saint-Germain. Okay, so you think you have a good coach, you choose the nationality. And during 10 years, you need to try to work this in all the category. If after 10 years, you think this is not the result, you need to change. Because this will happen in Spain. In Spain, we stay 100 years, so working something until get the key of football. So after this, we continue with this. But Spain, 100 years. In China, football is nothing, maybe 30 years, and they want to get the result quick, tomorrow. It's impossible, okay? This is no 2 plus 2 is 4. No, this is not like this. You need time, okay? You need to change a little the mentality, and you need a planning. And the problem is the planning, the organization. They change all the time depending on the result. And this is a big problem because the result is going to come, okay, with good work, but in long way. Clear example is Pep Guardiola with Manchester City. Stay 10 years, okay, time to create an idea, to give to the player this philosophy, and let this time to improve this. If not, it's impossible. And I think until China not change this, it's going to be very difficult to see this kind of evolution in the Chinese football.
You stayed in China until the COVID-19 pandemic. What was the advice that was given to you in China for you to go and return home to Spain?
So it was very, very, very quick because from 2015 to 2020, okay, I was in China normally, and exactly the 30th of January of 2020, come back to Spain like holidays, normal holidays, because the Chinese New Year is in February or in the last week of January, and was lucky for me because I come back like I did during every year. And after this, explode everything with the pandemic and etc. And I stay in Spain. And finally, China was closed during 2 years, practically close. I had friends stay at home during 1 year without go outside. So you imagine it's very hard for them. And what for this? For me, it was lucky. If not, if I stay in the country when the pandemic come, okay, I need to stay in the country because the law in China is very strict. So if they say you need to do this, you need to do this. There is no other.
It must be quite difficult if that was the case for you to have been so far away from your family, but it's good that you managed to return to Spain. So during COVID then, were you out of a job?
In Spain, because I am teacher in Spain. I am a physical education teacher from the government, and I was working because I have my place in the government. I was working and waiting the chance to open again all the countries. And for this, I was in Spain doing my individual with my friend, etc., helping some friend. But I think it was in 2022 is when I started to train in Lithuania. In the moment the frontier is open and a little more secure, to go to be, because this is other. For example, in China with the COVID, they stop to pay the salary, they stop to pay everything because this is normal. This is a special situation. And then I wanted to be sure if I go abroad again, okay, I am going to receive my salary and they are going to respect my condition. If no, stay far from home, working for nothing, or even stay in the country without going out of home is difficult.
For sure. And you said Lithuania came up there. So in 2021, a lot of the world was still sort of facing the impacts of COVID. Was Lithuania a bit more relaxed?
Yes, in Lithuania was relaxed. Yes, of course, respecting all the law and everything, all the security things. But yeah, it was very open. Was good, normal, and was a discovery for me because it's a very big country. It's good. The people very polite. Everybody speak English. So this is top. Very clean. People open. Very good. And football not bad. Football not bad as well.
Well, exactly, and I suppose you made that a lot better when you came in because you were appointed as manager in the second league, and you managed to win 14 out of the first 15 games in charge. Yeah. What is the momentum like of a side that manages to do that? The players must be so happy.
Yes, when I arrived, because in Lithuania the season starts in March, okay, and finish in November. It's not like a normal for us. It's in August and finish in June. So when I arrived, was in the middle of the season, and the team was not good. Was in the middle of the league, in the table league, and was funny because I arrived, I changed totally the mentality. I changed everything, and in the last 15 matches, we won 13 in a row. So it's the first team to do this in Lithuania in all category. Okay, we lost against the first in the league finally that he promote with us, and after the next match, we win as well. So finally, I don't know how to say. You go, you change everything, you give positive aspect every day, and you work with the player to say, hey, maybe the next week we are going to lose, but try to postpone, work with more. And we work with this mentality, no? And finally, step by step, so continue until the end, and we promote from first to second division. But for the next season, was better, because we stay 17 matches without losing. It's the unit team, okay? 17 matches, playing very good, very young team with a lot of players in the national team of Lithuania under 19 and under 21. It was a great experience because it was something unexpected. We continue with everything, working very hard. We did very good season. We improved a lot of players. Finally, the club cancel players to other countries and to other team in the country, and was top. But football is the day a day. You never know what is going to happen in the future, and then you work for Saturday.
I'm just seeing here. So in the second season that you were there, you managed to finish fourth, just outside the playoffs. And I know for a newly promoted side, you're not expecting to get to the playoffs. You're expected to just stay up. But when you managed to do so well and you just fall short of the playoffs, was that disappointing?
I think no, because look, this is my philosophy. So you need to be disappointed if you work bad during the week. So for me, the most important is, imagine if we play Saturday from Monday to Friday, okay? The player need to be ready to work very hard, okay? And I know if this work is good, Saturday is going to be good, the day of the match, okay? So the day of the match is the day for enjoy, because you know everything, okay? And the day during the week is the day to suffer. So, and then with this mentality, I transfer to the player. So no matter if we win, we lose or we draw, okay, the most important, okay, is what did you do during the week? You did well, you need to be happy. So Saturday, we know we are going to be competitive, okay? But if you work very bad during the week, so you know in the day of the match is going to be bad, okay? And you have a lot of chance to lose. So with this, we continue until the end. And with everything together, luck, because this is as well is a factor of football, no? Luck, very hard work, not only for me, for the staff, for all the players. So very hard work because we didn't rest during the week. So the training was Monday, Sunday, because the team needed to improve a lot tactically, and this need time, okay? And after this, for this, we get the result. But never think about, no, we are going to lose, no. All the time is positive, and it's no, we are going to win. After, we will see what happens.
And as you also said, you had a very young side, 18.3 years of age being the average age. That's so young. And in the third season, if we can speak about that, you managed to reach the promotion playoffs for the league above you. What happened in that?
Lithuanian football is not in basketball is good, but in football, okay, there is a competition that you create players, okay, to sell to other countries or to other big teams. No, this is normal, no. So and then in the third season was good, but with a lot of movement. In the middle of the season we changed a lot of players, a lot of injury, was no good. But this is true for me. I finished the season in the half. Was in July, and then come other coach. But this coach bring with like a 10 or 11 new player, and then finally get the playoff. So I think the most important is when you go in a club, know the goal of the club. No, in this case, the goal is true was to play the playoff. But we need to understand with very young players. Normally, if you take all the stats, so the teams promote or the teams play playoff. So the average of the age is very 25, 26. Okay, you need to have this mix between young player and player with experience, etc., etc. So it was a challenge. Was lucky as well. Okay, good work, and we arrived. Was a pity. Not go to first division, but in this kind of matches. Sometimes it's not only you, it's the rival. The moment you arrive to the final, okay, it's a double match. The condition, that this is very important in Lithuania because the weather is terrible in winter, it's very cold. The playoff is in November, you play the playoff snowing, so you imagine. And this is a very interesting point because when you have a lot of players from Africa, the first impression when they come to Lithuania is, wow, this is very cold. You are in April and it's 0 degrees. What is this? And this affects as well. So it's a lot of things around that need to be perfect, okay? So finally to get the target or the goal to promote.
You did return to China in 2024, obviously when restrictions were definitely eased and probably not there anymore. You managed to become the assistant manager of a Spanish coach out in China. That must have made your life a tiny bit easier.
Yeah, because it was my friend. I didn't expect to go, but was a friend. The team was in first division, so this team was the under 21. And then he called me to, okay, you come with me, you have a lot of experience, so you can help me, etc., etc. And then I said, okay, so I go with you. Finally, I went. I stayed from April to July. Very good. It was short period because, okay, if I go 3-4 months, no more, because I have a family here in Europe, and I don't want to be very far from them. And then I went with all the expectation because it was a team under 21, was new, so player young with not a lot of concept of football. Was the first time for the club to play the under 21 championship. It's similar to England, okay, because all the team of first division, they have B team that they compete in the same league, okay. Was top because it was the first time for the club for classification to play this league, okay. And after inside of the league, we did good result, okay, in the beginning. And after this, I decided to leave because I thought, like assistant coach, my work was done, okay. Because when you have a head coach, you cannot go. You have a limit. You cannot go above of the head coach, okay. And then I decided to leave. What happened? I come back to Spain, and then the club see my good job and call me back and say, okay, so like the previous coach finished the contract. Okay, if you can come here, but now like a head coach. I say, okay, I go like a head coach, but in this situation with the future to be the head coach of the first team. This was my goal. And then the club accepted, and was very good. And was top because the first month I was working very hard with the player, with the Spanish staff as well, because I took a Spanish staff. And was top because after 1 month we did something unbelievable. So Shanghai Shenhua is the first team in China, no? And they were playing to finish first in the league. And then if you finish first in the league of under 21, you have the chance to go a professional league. In China is Super League, League 1 and League 2. Okay, it's like a third division. So if you finish first, you have the chance to go to third division. What happened? We play against them. Previous matches we lost 6-0, 4-0, 7-0. And nobody expected this, but we finished 0-0 and doing very good job. And we got this progression, and finally this team, okay, don't go to third division, you know, continue. And the same, we draw their matches, very good job. And for this, the club for the next season in 2025 decide like I will be the assistant coach of the first team, and I accept this, of course. But okay, after this we started the season in January, no good because the coach was Japanese, no translator, very difficult to communicate, and then I decide to leave, okay, be an agreement with the club, and I decided to leave. But after the club called me back again. So this is football, no?
But you mentioned there that you brought Spanish coaches over with you to China. How does that work? So for you, I want to know, you're obviously asking people that you know, or do you want to come to China? But then you have to tell the club, and the club need to give permission. Is that right?
Yes. First, when the club is professional, the most of the time, okay, they give you a staff. Normally it's two. It's a fitness coach, assistant coach, and you. The club are very, 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 very professional, okay? So they have analysis coach, a goalkeeper coach, etc., etc. For me, I took an assistant coach with me. I took a goalkeeper coach and a fitness coach with me. So this was good because I can create my own stuff. The language is Spanish as well, so it's easier. And one of my staff speak very good Chinese. So was a plus because you imagine if I can give all the orders in Spanish, and after he can translate directly from Spanish to Chinese very quick. Okay, this information is quick, and you can improve better. So for this was top in this way to do this. I think for this and for the work of every day, so that the team, okay, grew up very quick.
You managed to take over the first team as caretaker manager, and then obviously head coach competing in the Chinese League 1. What an experience that was. What's the fan culture like in the lower leagues of China?
Wow, it's crazy, eh? Here, in 2015 was not so much, but after the COVID, I don't know why, the fans love to watch football, and the stadium, they are very big. It's 80,000, 60,000, 40,000, and it's full all the time. It's over full. This is true. The price ticket is very cheap, so they like as well. This is an spectacle in the pitch. All the environment before the match is similar more or less like in Europe. No, they go in a group, they stay together, they spend time together, they eat together, they drink together, and after go to the match. And of course, if they win, if their team win. Well, this is top because it's a party. It's a party. And before start the match, they do something in the pitch, or they do something with the light. You know, it's good. It's good to go to watch. It's top. It's top. And for this, they change a lot. And you like a coach, you stay in the pitch that there are 40, 50,000 people all the time singing. Okay, and everything is a plus, you know, for the motivation and for everything.
When you were on the touchline as a manager and you're shouting across the other side of the pitch instructions to your players, and there's fans everywhere singing and cheering, can the players hear you, or is it really hard to hear?
Forget, you cannot. You try because this is the pressure of the moment. But I think you need to manage this. You know, all the information must be in the locker room. And then when you are in the pitch, it must be very individual. For example, if there is one player stay close to you, you need to call him, okay, you call to this player, you see this is bad, okay? Or it's a free kick, or it's a corner. Or, for example, in China, it's very hot. There is a moment that the match stop, okay? For drinking water, etc., etc. Is the moment you can do this. If not, with all this kind of stadium, they are very big, they are enormous. And all the people singing, it's impossible. This is totally impossible. Yeah.
Can I ask you what you wear as the manager to these games? Is it the same sort of outfit every time? Is it a smart? Is it a normal coach outfit?
For the player, you say?
No, for
You said?
yourself on the touchline.
In the touchline, more or less, I think is respecting the tactical that we work during the week. No, there are players that they are over pressure. Okay, that there are players that they can show the skills, maybe because they come from very bad matches. They have pressure from the fans. In the moment, take the ball, they are whistling, no good. Okay, and then I think the most important is try to give for the players a collective answer, no individual. And if I see the player is very stressful, okay, so call him directly. Say, you don't play, come here, okay, and tell more directly to him, calm down, okay, you play like you like, okay, play easy, and step by step, okay, if you want, you take this confidence to the match. But for me, I am a coach very hot, like to stay all the time, speaking with the referee, speaking with my staff. In the case of China, it's very professional league, so you have the tactical coach in the top. They are viewing everything. You have the review, so you are moving all the time. So this is like this, no? It's a little this emotion that you need to as well to support the player and to show the player, no?
I think my English got in the way of what I was trying to ask, but that's a very good answer. What I'm trying to ask is, as a manager, Mikel Arteta, for example, he wears the same sort of top and trousers every game, and it's smart. But for you as a manager, when you're on the side of the pitch, are you in a suit? Are you in a top? Are you in shorts? What do you wear?
This depends. And I tell you why. Because it's not the same, in this case, in China or Lithuania. It's not the same in winter. That, for example, in summer in China. In summer in China is like a 30 degrees. The humidity is 95%. So you go with a t-shirt and you go with a jeans, okay, and with sweat when you can. If no, it's very uncomfortable because you need to move, you need to run, you need to. Yeah, I think this depend on the moment as well, and depend the importance of the match as well. This is but normally with a suit. This is like this, yes, or with a t-shirt, normal. Yeah.
You have to be smart as the manager, right?
Yeah. And this is other because in China, for example, you have your official suit, so everybody must do. It's the brown. You have the brown. It's not the same for the press conference that outside. So you need to. But this is the club. You have one person with you. He's telling you what you need to do in this moment. In this moment, you need to stay here. You need to stay here. You change the clothes. You do this. Like I told you, China in this aspect is top. It's very professional.
In China, you mentioned their press conferences. What are the press conferences like in China? Are they packed with journalists?
Yes, it's good because you do the previous press conference to explain a little how is the team for the fans, etc., etc. So after previous the match, you do other, okay, for the journalists, and after this you finish the match and you do other as well, okay. For me, it's something I don't like because I don't like to speak and to show, but I know it's something important that you need to do for the communication of the club, to show your style, to show the fans that you are going to win. And they take opinion, depend of your words. This coach, today is going to defend. No, this coach, today is very sure they are going to win. So I think it's something normal. It's something normal.
When you mentioned that you're in Paris right now, how's Paris been treating you?
Top. France is a very good country. The unique problem is nobody speaks English here, and then you need to speak English.
Yeah.
You need to speak French. For me, after years, okay, I speak French because my wife is French. And for this, good, like a city is top now in summer and in spring. But in winter, no. In winter, it's every day raining and it's not comfortable. If I compare it with Spain, it's not comfortable, no.
Before we speak about your most recent job, I wanted to ask, have you ever been to England before?
No, England, yes, I stay in London, okay, but only for holidays. But for working, no. But I have a lot of friends, okay, they work in top level in England, and they told me very good. Facility top, the level of football is top, etc. Top. Very good. But for the style is a little different, no? You need to fight with the player for a style. But this is normal. This is the culture. This is totally normal.
Of course, and I suppose as a Spanish coach, again, that we said at the start, you have your own ideas and you want to play tiki-taka football and have all these brilliant players on the pitch. When you are going to, and this is sort of touching upon Albania, which we'll go on to speak about now. But when you are in a city like Paris and someone calls you up and says, look, can you sign for us in China or can you sign for us in Lithuania? When you book the flight and you're traveling over, are you just filled with emotions? Are you already writing down what players you're going to be signing?
Yeah, of course. Because first, when this kind of offer arrive, for me the most important is to check, to check all the information as possible. Or because I have friends, they work in this country, they can tell me. Or they work in this team, they can tell me. But of course, you go with first for the club because the club didn't know you. So it's, this coach is good. Attention, it's good. You need to show you are good because you stay 1 week and you go out. No, and for me. To discover a new country, a new culture, new players, okay, give the possibility for me to show my methodology that is a little special, okay. For me, it's a top and it's a motivation, no, it's a motivation that, but for this moment, I want to do. I don't know if in the future I say, okay, or I stay in France training, or I stay in Spain because I don't want to move. But by the moment I have these things inside that I want to move, and I want to know other culture and other football, to have more experience and to be better in my methodology.
The players are often together, right? Whether they're training, when they go out together. But as a coaching staff, your goalkeeper coach, your fitness coach, you're a group as well. So do you often go out for dinners? Do you spend time away from the pitch with your coaching staff, or is it just on a professional level?
Mm-hmm. Of course, this is true. It's very funny when they say, but you earn a lot of money and you train 1 hour and a half. No. This is not like this. This is not like this. We spend more time in the office than to stay with the family at home. In the pitch, okay, maybe it's 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. But before and after this, so you need to prepare. You need to plan everything, and then you need to prepare your methodology or your plan for the match, or you need to prepare or analyze the rival. You need to do individual video with the player as well to improve them. So it's we spend a lot of time together. That for this is very important. The staff, if you can choose your staff, you know them, you know how they are in the pitch and out of the pitch, and must be this feeling between us. If no, it's difficult. And of course, we spend a lot of time together in the office and after. But this is true. After means outside in the restaurant, forbidden to speak about football. But all the time come, all the time come football. So it's like a wheel. It's football. That sometimes the wife is not happy with this.
Well, of course, they also get pretty frustrated. But when you go out with your team for dinner, is there do you like having a certain type of food? Is it always an Italian or always Spanish food?
No, for me, I like to try everything. For example, in China, in this moment, you can find the Chinese food is very good. Okay, but when you are eating every day Chinese food, you want to change a little. For example, in Albania, most of them is Italian food. In Lithuania, Lithuanian food. You change, and this is other because normally in a professional environment, you eat with the player. You have the breakfast with the player. You have the lunch. You have the dinner. You eat with them. So everything is very healthy for the players. So all the time you try to change. No, it's but give a sample. No, if the players are eating good. Something healthy, and you stay in front of them eating something that is not good. This is for me at least it's not good. Yeah. So I try to combine.
Well, you come from a fitness background, whereas a lot of managers maybe perhaps don't. But when you were in Albania, you mentioned that you haven't managed many games over there. You were there just for the final few games of the season. What was your time like in Albania?
So for me it was very quick because it was a Tuesday. They called me, and Thursday I was training. So it was boom, very, very quick. What happened? This club called me back a long time ago, and then I like to see matches to check or to take information or stay updated about this. And then I know the team how they work and how they play. But when I arrived, the problem was from the season was 6 coaches. Okay, they changed 6 times the coaches, different Argentine, Portugal, Albania, Italian. Me now Spanish. So for me, when I arrived, it was to change the mentality, to change the mentality positive, and to change only some concept in the pitch, nothing more, and raise up the intensity of the training, the dynamic, and give this extra motivation every day. Because it was 7 days training, and after the first match of playoff. So you imagine, if we lose this match, we go home. We won 2-1, okay, and we go again 5 days more to continue working, okay, and then continue working. But what happened? you cannot control physically. In this team, player very old, 35, 36 year old, with very good background, but this year a lot of injured. You don't know if they can play, no play. How is the team? If they are together or not. So we need to manage everything in 10 days, practically. We get in the second match of the playoff, we draw 0-0, and in penalties we lost. But finally, this team go to second division. Okay, but for the job we watch in the pitch was top. The penalty finally is luck. Was top, and was from the beginning tried to change the dynamic and give some extra motivation from the staff.
The last question I've got for you is, you mentioned to me at the start that the contract talks are ongoing. If you wanted to return to Albania, you potentially could. Do you want to return to Albania, or are you trying to see if there's anything else that's going to come up in the summer?
So now in this moment I have different offers from different countries, okay, around the world, even here in Europe as well. But this is true because now you need to see the project. How is the project? More or less for the Spanish coaches, we want a good project, not a good team. Because good team is 1 year and after out, or you cannot get. But good project, what is good project? For example, this team is in third division. The project is to get in 2-3 years, okay, first division. This is the project, okay? After staying in the place, so all the members of the club, okay, they have very clear idea. The project is done, okay? We know where we go in the future. And for me, this is very important, no? Have the idea very clear and let you work freely. So for this in this moment, after all the offer I have, okay, so I need to study very well what is better for you, for my future as well, and in which one I can get the best from me, because for example for me I like to have young players, okay, around 25, 22, 20, 23, not very old players, because this is more difficult to change the dynamic, and then evaluate everything. So I need to take a decision, I think in the end of this month. And we will see what happens finally. Yeah.
Well, Pablo, I wish you all the best in your new club, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Okay, so thank you very much, and thank you for this chance to share your space with me and to try to give my experience and my advice in around the world in football. And I hope to see you soon again. Okay.
Thank you so much, Pablo. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.